Alright, let's do a little deck breakdown. This is the Rioter that haunts Sorcery. That's what I'm going to be playing tonight. We start off here. It's got a couple nice little gimmicks going on in it. I bought this deck for under $10, and I just liked a few of the things it can do. Now, it doesn't all the time, but it does seem to be playing fairly reasonably, and it's almost always a fun time when I am playing it. So we're going to start off here with a little Control of the Weak. Always a nice selection. We've got an Ember and a Fear to bounce those big ugly creatures or heavy capture back. Goozle, you can never go wrong with direct damage. If you don't kill something, you're going to get rid of a creature from their hand and you get an Amber out of it. Hand of Dis, a card that I have soured on a little more as of late. It is good removal, but if you're holding on to it, it's really an overrated card. So if you can use it and it shows up at the right time, it's great. If not, meh, really meh. Okay, so Tendrils of Pain. This is another nice card. I really like this. We've got the one Amber going on. 1 damage to each creature, but you get to deal 3 additional damage if your opponent forged a key on their previous turn. The only thing about this is I have a lot of smaller aliens creatures in the Mars set, so that's the thing. So just kind of be judgmental about when you use it, and if you can afford it, use it just to get the Ember bonus and toss it back in. Hysteria, return each creature to each owner's hand. That's got a lot of things that you're going to see why that works well with as a defensive measure, but also as a kind of quasi-offensive measure with a few things it does. Dominator Bauble. Control the Weak. Dominator Bauble of 2 parts of what I'm going to describe to you here as one of the funnest gimmicks if you can get it to work. Lash of Broken Dreams. Never feel bad about making somebody pay 9 to forge a key. Always a good way to keep them off a key until you can find your answers in the deck. Keep digging. If you can't get them, dig some deeper. Shaffles. Dropping some Ember off. Schuler. Stealing a little Ember. And the Terror. Okay, so a super light creature selection here, but not bad. Good first turn play in the Terror. Schuler can help a little bit, and Shaffles can help if you keep it on the board. I'll show you where it's at next to some Taunt. Collar of Subordination, always good, either to sidebar a creature or grab something that you can actually use from your house combination here. Alright, then we're going into our Mars setup. We've got Battle Fleet, nice, revealing number of Mars cards from your hand, get an Ember, draw some cards, maybe gives you a better turn. That synergizes really nicely though here with the Key Abduction. Return each Mars creature to its owner's hand, then you may forge a key at +9 current cost, reduced by 1 for each card in your hand. Now I initially thought this card was dookie, like literally the dog eat runs. I mean, it gives you an Amber, but it bounces all your creatures back, so use them first, bounce them back. But what I didn't realize is that this +9 then reduced by 1 is not to a maximum of 9. So if you can get 15 cards in hand or 12 or 13 cards in hand, you can forge that key for 2 or 3 Ember, which could work really well with this Battle Fleet. But we're also going back into if you can set up a Hysteria turn the turn before, get all your stuff in hand, drop a Battle Fleet with a few good Mars creatures in hand, because you do have a few Mars creatures, pull some more things up, you can really extend that. So it's a great way to synergize into that Key Abduction, get as many cards in hand as possible while also defending your board. Orbital Bombardment here, reveal any number of Mars creature cards from your hand. For each card revealed, deal 2 damage to a creature this way. This is a great combination here with Battle Fleet and Hysteria. If you've got some good Mars on the board already, you can get them back in. Phosphorus Star is not always great, often a discard due to its +2 chains. But I mean, there's going to be some times you don't have any other control on the board. Your main controls here are Hysteria. You've got a Fear for select removal, Hand of Dis for select removal, stall removal. Not a lot going on there. You got your Squawker to ready your John Smith into your Mind Warpers, or for a quick turn to get the Dominator. So it's not the most well-rounded Mars setup here, but we've got 1 John Smith, 2 Mind Warpers for Ember control, and 2 Yxilix Dominators, which are really helpful in protecting a few of these choice pieces here. Biomatrix backup to make sure you get somebody else back. There's two favorite targets in this deck, potentially 3. But I think John Smith's always a good target for that. The Red Planet Ray Gun, Reap, choose a creature, deal 1 damage to that creature for each Mars creature in play, so another good one. Plus we got some Ember there. Okay, so we got 2 cooperative hunts. So if we can get a decent board out, which is nice, we've got a decent board here in our Untamed category. So cooperative hunt can be really good at helping you selectively get rid of some of those hard to kill targets, because you don't have the biggest creatures going in the other 2 houses. You know, you do have the Dominators, but I like to save them if I can for taking damage. You've got Keycharge, which The more I've played with, the more I've realized it's sort of just above mediocre. Because if you don't need it, it's no good to you, and it's just a dead card, and it's just a discard to cycle. So holding on to it isn't great, but I mean, it has helped me pull out some victories against people that were hard to forge against. So I'm not saying it's a bad card. I'm just saying you really just have to gauge the situation, and normally you're going to get rid of this if you're not playing it. Lost in the Wood, always nice, and I'll show you my two favorite targets, and then my +1. So my two favorite targets are to drop the fuzzy Gruen and the Dust Pixie back into the deck. I get an Ember, drop those in. That's dropping 5 more Ember into your, or 4 more Ember into your potential pool. Honorable mention will go to Schuler if those aren't out, because often these things die on the table pretty quickly. I will Schuler himself away if I have to, because that's not so bad. We've got the Ancient Bear for a little meat, Big Twig, throwing down some meat. Dew Fairy is always nice if you can keep it alive. Get an extra reap out of it. If I see this in hand first turn, I usually feel pretty good about it. Again, the Dust Pixie, and the cutest card in all of Call of the Archons, Fuzzy Gruen. That's my spirit animal there. 2 Nifflepes, not bad, not great. Again, low damage, nothing to really make them too meaty and beefy, but they get the job done. And then a Witch of the Eye. And this is the last part of my favorite gimmick that this deck does. So, Witch of the Eye, control the weak Dominator Bauble. If you can set the Witch up next to a Yxilix Dominator, maybe even dropping that Biomatrix backup on the Witch, because she is prime target every time. Any of you guys that play, you see the Witch come down, you want to get rid of her because she can recur this control the weak. If I need that Hysteria back for an emergency, Shaffle, Schuler, Collar, coming back here to pull a Battle Fleet. If I've got the Key Abduction and the Heavy Mars hand now, like setting some things up. You can really set a lot up with her. So, and the nice thing is you've got a few threats. Like, you don't want to leave a Dew Fairy on the board. Big Twig gets really annoying really fast. Ancient Bear can do some damage. So, the Yxilix, the Mind Warpers, the John Smiths. The nice thing is that with this creature setup, most creatures are a threat. Most creatures are a thing that they have to deal with. Shaffles you want to get rid of. John Smith you want to get rid of. The Mind Warpers you want to get rid of. Coming over here, you don't want to do Fairy to stand. An Ancient Bear is passable, but Big Twig is going to be annoying because he's going to be stunning your things. If you got something really soft, these are great for exploding on a Witch of the Eye or a Hunting Witch. So, if you can get that Witch of the Eye out there and start recurring your cooperative hunting if you've got a big board, or, it just depends on what you're going to need to do. But that's really the gimmicks on this deck, and that's how that's all going to work out. So now, if you guys want, you can watch me hop in and play.